Today's class, we're going to start on our backs with our legs up the wall. So go find a wall to put your mat against. The focus of today's class will be about opening and loosening up the hip joints and through the spine. And we'll be using more of somatic techniques. For the past couple of weeks, we've had a lot of snow, and I'm realizing how our body adjusts to walking in the snow, and sometimes there can be stiffness in areas that we haven't noticed before. So just set yourself up. I'm using a blanket so that it's a bit warmer to lay on, and I'm keeping some clothes on because our movements will be um, less vivacious. Okay, so find your comfortable position. When you get to the wall, what I do is I lay a little bit over onto my left side. This is Mina Harker. All right, I lay over on my left side and I take my seat or sitting bones close to the wall as possible. So then it's just going to be an easy roll up onto your back. So roll onto your back, take your feet up the wall, and then you can just kind of inch yourself a little forward towards the wall. Legs up. So for me, it's comfortable to have the backs of my legs right at the wall or pretty close to the wall. That's not comfortable for everyone. So if you find that your knees are having to bend because the hamstrings are just a little bit too tight today or always, just move your seat farther away and let your legs be more at an angle. Okay, so let's just come here and do an assessment. So we're laying on our backs. Taking a few breaths into the belly and into the chest. And then one of the things that you can start to specifically notice is the sensation on the left and on the right side of the sitting bones. How are they in the relation to the ground, or both sides of the spine? How do they relate to the ground? Are there parts that are slightly elevated and parts that are down with a bit more weight? So just notice these things. A few more breaths. And then now you feel a sense of the legs and you feel a sense of the back of the pelvis. At any time, if you need to bend the knees in towards the chest, you do that. If you're not used to having your legs elevated, and the blood has to learn different kind of stronger routes to send it all the way up to the feet. So just easily now, just bend the left knee and let the knee fall out to the side. You can support it with your hand. So just let it be heavy and relax the lifted leg so the right leg is still up and it's a little bit relaxed. Breathe. So we're not doing any action of gathering the leg or any action of resisting. We're just feeling the leg in space as it is, just resting. And slowly take that leg up. Pause. And then just slowly, let's just take this right leg down. So the knees a little bit out to the side. Support it so that the leg can be easy and relaxed. Letting a heaviness happen in the back of the pelvis. And then just take that right leg back up and pause. Notice what you can notice with the back of the pelvis and the back of the lumbar and thoracic, back of the head, the shoulders. Now let's bring the left knee in and let's hold it and squeeze it in a little. So now we're not applying any resistance as well. We're doing a bit of a squeeze and we're letting the back lengthen and widen. Take the left leg back up, pause. And now bring the right leg in. And again, so it's a bit of a squeeze and it's relaxed. So it's just coming into where it can come in with an easy squeeze. That just gives a bit more tension and a bit more width at the back of the pelvis. Breathe in the belly. And then take that leg back up. Pause. Now let's bring the left one now back in towards, again, the chest and the armpit. We're going to hold the leg and resist. So now the leg is trying to escape, but we're holding it still. Not your biggest effort, but as we do this, we'll feel that the back of the pelvis and the lumbar and also the upper back will expand because of this. Going wide and long, chin slightly tucks. Release, relax, take the leg back up. Bring the right leg in, hold, find the exertion. The leg tries to escape. Tuck the chin in towards the chest slightly. Take the leg back up and relax. Notice what you notice in the back, in the whole back body. And now let's take both legs down so we can hold them in towards the chest. And we're just going to do this in a nice, easy way. So not a big resistance. We're just holding it in, holding the legs both in. And then take the legs back up the wall. Allow the back of the pelvis to relax and be heavy. Okay, now take the soles of the feet together, take the knees out, but we're just letting the knees go to where they can go in their outness. So they're a little bit relaxed. So we're not pushing them to the wall. Now make a little back bend so you'll feel how your chin tucks in, your lumbar lifts, the tip of your tail points down so your hip bones lift up. Now downward, smush the lumbar and use that to take the knees together. And then you have a cat in the way. Now make a back bend, downward smush, let the legs go out. Make a back bend, smush the lumbar down, use that to bring the knees together. Make a back bend, smush it down, let the knees go out to the side. Make a back bend, smush it down, use that to bring the knees together. Make a back bend, smush it down, use that control to take the knees out wide. And you can now feel at this point, just pause with the lumbar smush down and a little bit of an extra leaning of the back of the legs or the sides of the legs to the wall. Make a back bend, smush it down, take the knees together. And then take the legs back up the wall. Okay, so you can just stay here if you wish, just at this point, again with the legs up, or let the knees relax in towards the chest, or you may wish to find a little bit of elevation of the hips. So take the feet onto the wall where the toes and the heels can be a bit flat, and you might want to hold the sides of the mat, or you can take your hands up overhead. Find a position, maybe your elbows are going to be leaning down, something that you can kind of stabilize yourself with. Inhale first, make a back bend. Exhale, smush the lumbar down, lengthen the tail away, and just push into the wall to lift the hips. We'll just be here with the arms maybe parallel here to the sides of the mat. And you're not coming up really, really high. You're just coming up a little bit high. Feel a gathering of the legs coming together. And then slowly, just one vertebra at a time, coming down. And then pause and relax. Let's do this one more time. Let's just take the feet onto the wall. Inhale, make a back bend. Exhale, smoosh it down and long, and continue the lift until you come on your shoulders. Now you may wish to come a little bit higher on one shoulder head and then the other shoulder head, possibly clasping the hands, and maybe there's a little bit of a higher lift. So you're not creating tension on the neck. You have more weight on your shoulders and on your feet, and you've got a lot of stuff going on here into this groin region. So lots of gathering of the legs and lots of feeling the pubic bone coming towards the sternum. Hands at your sides and slowly lower down one vertebra at a time again. And just rest with your legs up on the wall. All right, bring the knees in towards the chest and just rock a couple times from side to side. You can use your hands as a support to move the legs over or to support them when they come to one side. Just a nice massage to the back. All right, come into the center, pause. And then now you're going to roll over to one side so that you can inch yourself a little bit farther away from the walls so that your legs are going to be at about a right angle with each other. Now here's where you might wish to grab a block to come underneath your head or a block in between the knees. So we're going to lay on our side. I'm going to use my hand as a support for my head. So I'm on my left, and I just want you to feel that you don't have your legs down in a way, like your knees are not far from your chest and they're not curled up unless that suits you best. And then you're going to just like have them at a right angle and just pause here. Now just as you're here, just feel the right knee go a little forward and a little back. So just a nice easy forward and back with this top leg, that right knee, letting the hips move back and forth. And then let's just take one more forward with the knee and just back and pause in neutral. Now take your arm, or be aware of your arm, that it's going to be running along your torso. And we're just going to roll the shoulder blade back, and that's going to take this right palm to face up towards the sky. And then we're going to roll the shoulder blade forward, and then the palm might even roll all the way so that the palm faces the sky again this way. So let's just roll the palm forward and back, or rolling the shoulder blade forward and back. And then just pause. let's do this again, and we're going to add to it. So now we're going to take the right knee forward, and as we do that, take the shoulder blade back and it rotates the palm to face up. Take the knee back and roll the shoulder forward. The palm faces up by rolling forward. And then knee forward, roll the shoulder blade back. Knee back, roll the shoulder blade forward. So you can just let yourself move like this in this sort of squeeze, and then other alternate squeeze back and forth. So just ease the body. And one more where the knee goes forward, and then just neutral, and then just relax. Now, one of the reasons I'm not on a block is because I've got the headphones on, but I recommend being on some height so that the head can just easily roll around and the neck gets a lot of release. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is stay here with the knees if you can, if your back's feeling okay, and just move your left shoulder a bit forward so that you can feel a bit of a twist of the chest, a little bit of a twist of the torso, and then take the arms up. Now, so for me, my right shoulder is not going to go all the way to the ground. And we'll just stay here for a couple of breaths, feeling this slightly awkward position of twist. And then just lengthen the left arm. So that's the one that's by the bent knees. And relax. And lengthen it. And it's not going to be a giant move. And release. And lengthen. And relax. Relax the hips. Relax the head, the arms, the shoulders, the breath. Now move the right arm up and just let the body move with it as it needs to, and then relax and lengthen and relax and lengthen and relax. Pause. Now we'll alternate. So left, then right, and left. And now just notice as you continue this a few more times that something is happening in the lower back, something's happening with the hip. Just allow the body to go for a ride, whatever that ride is. And it might be different on different days or for different people practicing this. One more with the right and one more with the left. And then just roll over onto your side and pause. Okay, good. Let's roll over onto our back and just have a moment on the back. And then let's go over onto the right side. So I'll have my back to you so you'll be able to see what this looks like from this side. So right angles with the knees. And then let's just have this knee going, this top knee, this left knee going forward and back. Just nice and easy, forward and back. And one more forward and back, and just pause. Relax. And then let's feel this arm move. So now we've got this top left arm. We're going to take the shoulder, head forward, and the palm faces up. Take the shoulder back and squeeze it in so the palm faces up this way. So just roll back and forth and let the body have a bit of movement. Let the spine have a little bit of movement. I notice the hips slightly already move a little bit. Okay, and then the palm faces up with the shoulder blades squeezing back, and then pause and relax. So you really completely relax, allowing the hips to relax and your breath. Now let's join those two. So we're going to take the left arm is up here, the left leg, the knee moves forward and squeeze the shoulder blade back so the palm faces up. Move the knee back, roll the shoulder head forward, the palm faces up. Knee forward, squeeze back with the shoulder, and knee back, the shoulder head goes forward. So just keep rolling in these opposite directions, letting the body just take on the shaping that it needs to as you continue. So it's not the hardest move. You're trying to make it a little bit light. In fact, just doing a pause, a slight pendiculation when you get to either end, a little bit of a muscle contraction, but it's not like a really tight fist. Okay, the next time you have the shoulder forward and then just pause. Relax completely. Letting the dust settle, feeling what you feel. Letting the energy move in the body. And then walk this right shoulder a little forward and then roll more onto your back with the arms up. Now, this again, just check to see what it feels like on this side. And now let's just move with this right arm. So the right arm is the one by the bent knees. Lifting it up a little and neutral. And lifting it up a little and neutral. One more. Lifting it up a little and neutral. Taking the left arm up and back and up and back and up and back. And now we'll alternate right and left and right and left and right and left. One more right and left and relax. Pause over on your side. And then roll over onto your back and just assess what it feels like in the pelvis. What does it feel like in the lumbar? Okay, we're now going to do the same movement that we did when we were at the wall with our legs in Supta Baddha Konasana, and we'll just do it now fully reclined. So have the knees, the feet a comfortable distance from each other first, and feel the heels close to the sitting bones, just where they can be sustained. And then make a little back bend, lifting the lumbar spine, and then smushing the lumbar down. Take the soles of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to the side. Make a little back bend, smushing it down, and use that to bring the knees up together. Relax, make a little back bend, smushing it down. Take the knees out to the side. Relax, make a little back bend on purpose, and then smushing it down, taking the knees together. One more time, back bend, smushing it down, knees out to the side, little back bend, smushing it down, knees together, and then just relax. You might want to take your feet a little wider than your hips and let the knees fall in towards each other. Okay, a couple bridge rolls and then we'll roll over onto our hands and feet, knees. So let's just take the feet about hip distance apart and a comfortable distance of the heels and sitting bones. And we're going to really feel each part of the spine. So the smooshing down will be really systematic. So first just start to feel it's a bit of a back bend, the lumbar's lifting, tail's facing down, hip bones lifting. And then slowly lean down through the coccyx, down through the sacrum, down to the top of the sacrum, and feel down through the lumbar and down a little higher up the lumbar, and then gradually that will lift you up. So just a nice, easy kind of lift. So your arms can be up in the air doing this, your elbows can be at your sides. And to come down, we'll slowly lift the heels and go down one vertebra at a time. Slowly and lengthening through the tail so that we can make the feeling happen through all of the vertebrae, through the lumbar, and then just relax. Walk the feet as wide as the edge of the mat. Snug the ribs in at the front towards the low belly, and just come into some side-to-side windshield wipers with the knees, turning your head in the opposite direction that the knees are going. Okay, come back up in towards the center, and let's do one more bridge roll where we feel each section of the spine. So just breathe first. Align your feet. Find your hand position, whether they're just at your sides, relaxed, or up in the sky, or on your elbows. And let's just find first a back bend, and then a down smoosh of the tail, and the coccyx running through to the sacrum, upper sacrum, lumbar, middle of the back, and gradually you'll just come up, feel the downness of the feet. And you'll be just up in a nice, easy way, feeling kind of more slantward than anything. Lift the heels and slowly roll down one little section at a time. And as you come down, you're smooshing each section down with extra length, and then relax. Okay, good. Bring the knees up. Hold on to the knees, taking the knees from side to side for a couple of moments, and then at one point you just be ready to draw some nice circles. And then in the other direction. Good, come back into the center. Let the legs be easy into your chest. So whether the knees are together or whether they come out to the side, let it be a soft holding and just breathe a few breaths. Okay, good. Let's just roll over onto our side and come all the way up. Here we're going to come into a tabletop position, so on our all fours, so our hands and our knees. And for a couple breaths, let's feel this just happening. We're just going to lower the belly and lift and squeeze the shoulder blades together and make them go a little bit down. And look up and with a long neck. And then just push the spine up in the opposite direction and feel the widening of the shoulder blades. And come back down with the belly, squeeze the shoulder blades together and take the shoulder blades down the back. So we're having more of a massage than just the spine. We're feeling some movement for the shoulder heads. And then one more in the convex, pushing away, rounding the back, dropping the head. And then from this position, engage all the muscles, or kind of pendiculate, where you gather the muscles tight to the bone, and slowly through this resistance, let's move back. We'll come into a child's pose, and then as you get here, you'll relax. Inhale, coming up. Now let's do that one more time, where we come into this concept of individual sections of the spine. So just come into a bit of a neutral, but definitely not a swayed, so a bit more slightly convex. And let's just move the hips. So station create a stationary sense of the low back, and just make your sitting bones go up and down. Okay. And then just face the sitting bones down. Now just make the lumbar spine have a little bit of movement. Just a little bit of movement. There's not a lot there, but let's just see about this. And then make it stay up high. And then your thoracic, feel that come up and down, and squeeze the shoulder blades and widen the shoulder blades, and squeeze and widen and squeeze and widen, and then end in the convex, and then the head long and tuck and long and tuck, chin to the chest, and long and tuck, chin to the chest. Okay, let's reverse this by just making the tip of the tail go up, then the lumbar goes down, and the middle of the back goes down, the chest goes down, squeezing the shoulder blades, looking up. And we'll do one more time with this child's pose. Round convexly, taking the tail down, the rest of the back goes up to the sky, pushing down the hands, widening the shoulder blades, and gather all the muscles into the bone, and feel everything suction in. Through resistance, you come forward. Resistance, you can come forward, and you can then even widen the knees and relax through into a wide-kneed child's pose. Do this on your back if you prefer. Also, you can make a little pillow for your forehead. And just pause here, and this will be our final pose. Using your inhaled breath and using your hands, let's just come up, and we'll just sit cross-legged in an easy cross-legged way. Noticing what you're noticing in the mind or in the body. And bring your hands to the chest, to the heart center. and seal the practice with Yoga Mudra.